Okay, so the first question that we need to answer is the information found on this website accurate? And to do that, we'll start by looking for the author. And we're looking for the author not just of the website itself, but for this specific content that we're reading about energy drinks and food bars. And so what I would do is look first at the top. A lot of times it will be written right at the top who authored the article. I don't see that here, so instead what I'm going to do is look at the bottom of the article. And on this article here, it doesn't have a specific author, the person who wrote these words here. But what it does have is somebody who reviewed the information. And so we can do a quick check on Mary Gavin, and what we'll find is that she is a pediatrician, and she specializes in children's medicine, but also in obesity and weight management for children. So I feel like she's a pretty good source of information to review this website. And if you remember, when an article is reviewed, it means that this person, this expert, took a look at the information and said, yes, in my professional opinion, this is correct. So that was last done in 2014, not too long ago. So if I'm taking notes on my checklist, which you're going to have to do eventually, I would probably give this one a check mark and mention to myself that, yeah, there isn't an author listed, but it was reviewed by somebody who knows what they're talking about. Okay, the next question is the information confirmed by another source? And I might need to do some research on my own, excuse me, or I might need to just look at the website itself to see if there's some information confirming this. So the reason why that's important is because if this is the only place where I find the answer, this answer to the question about energy drinks and nutrition bars, then I might be questioning that. Because if other organizations aren't saying the same thing, it could mean that it's wrong. So first, what I want to do is read the article in its entirety to make sure I know what it's saying. And then if within that article, it might actually refer to some different studies or some different data that I might be able to look into. This article, unfortunately, doesn't have that. It doesn't refer to any specific data. So the next thing I would do is look down at the bottom and check for a works cited section or a bibliography. And so I'm going to click here on resources. And it's got two resources that it's using for this article. The first is choosemyplate.gov, and probably most of you are familiar with that one as a fairly reputable source of nutrition information. But I was not familiar with this one here, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. So just doing a quick search of that organization, and what I would find is that it's actually a professional organization for doctors and nutrition dietetic professionals. And so I feel like that's a pretty great yep. I feel like that's a pretty great resource to use to check in to make sure that the information was correct.